26 points, 13 rebounds in the win for Utah. Nikola Jokic, a triple-double in the loss for Denver. 26 points, 21 rebounds, and 11 assists. Top 25 college basketball. Battle of ranked teams. Number 11, Iowa State beat number 25, Texas Tech, 51-47. I'm Eddie Garcia.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Thursday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early break. Full show ahead. Plenty to get to. We've got Rick Heyman here in the studio from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are we? Rick. Our first Rick song of the day of 2022 coming up in about 40 minutes from now.
I look forward to that.
It's
good
a good
morning,
one. I've never
guys.
heard the song. I'll tell you that.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't tease. I'm just going to say I've never heard the song you played, and I like it.
Rick's got his papers out, and I'm
Yes.
trying not to look at.
He's
him.
always prepared.
Rick, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah.
A little chilly.
It is freezing out there.
Hey, Jake.
Rick was here when I got here, and I ran in with my hood on because this is too cold.
Oh, you want
This
to
is
do
too
this?
cold. I said 3 seconds. I was moving on.
Tell
Sip.
Rick the
I
deal.
know Sip, for some reason, hates small talk about weather specifically.
My God.
He'll
he
do
does.
small talk, but
God.
the weather it bothers him. I
God.
said I gave you 3 seconds, and it was
Pretty
too
cold
much.
out there.
I gave you 3 seconds, and I moved
I
on.
think it's supposed to warm up on Friday, though.
Well, you live in Nebraska. What else are you going to talk
It is the
about?
talk of the coffee shop, so you can be like the other people, fit right in with them.
Talking like
Nothing else.
Went to a small town coffee shop. It's what they talk about is the weather.
Cold. Yeah.
It's chilly out
That's what
there.
they talk about. Yeah.
Just wait till February. Then it'll really hit you.
It's terrible. Anyways, so just
How's
telling Rick I had my hood on. He saw that. That was it. It was cold.
Yes.
We'll have Mike Schaefer also from 7 to 8 today
Can ask
for
him
the
about
Mike
what.
Schaefer Hour. And we'll get to Casey Thompson here shortly. In this segment, we'll get to Casey Thompson. I promise you I will.
I would
Last night there was basketball played by Nebraska. They did lose, but I watched the whole game. Believe it or not, I sat down. I have not been watching the whole games recently. I've been catching parts of them. I did watch the second half of Ohio State. I didn't watch the first half of it, but I watched the whole game last night. Nebraska came out fire. They were on fire. They made their first 7 shots they looked at. They made everything. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Then they cooled down predictably, but down by 4 at halftime to one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten, Michigan State. They were down 38-34. They end up losing 79-67 to Michigan State. But I tweeted this out and I meant it. For the last 2 games, for the whole duration of the games against good opponents, Nebraska has actually looked like a decent basketball team, a
Yes.
quality basketball team.
Yes.
You remember December
Interesting, Jake.
with the blowout losses to Auburn by 30-plus points, to Michigan by 30-plus points, and we said, oh, my gosh, where is this season going to go? This is going to get rougher in Big Ten play, and it still could get rough. It still could go south and not be good. Nebraska is 0-4 in conference play with those 2 early losses to Michigan and Indiana in December.
Mhm.
But I think I hate moral victories. I mean, we're not here for moral victories. I'm not saying that Hoiberg still is saving himself for the end of the year in terms of his job. But I can say that I've seen respectable basketball the last 2 games in completion,
I wondered what you thought.
totality.
Okay, so there's a couple things where you can take this conversation. One is, okay, I got to think about it. I just want to make sure I state this clearly.
Okay.
Has your ceiling for this team in terms of wins and losses in the Big Ten, has it crept up a little bit?
Well,
Jake?
as you pointed out yesterday, it was important for us to see, hey, can they follow up the good performance against Ohio State with another good one against Michigan State? Now, they lost by 12, but I thought they They competed, and they looked like a team that could win that game if they hit a couple more shots. So this is now 2 games. Now, a third game, they'll play at Rutgers on Saturday. Rutgers is beatable. Rutgers is a good team. They're not a bad team. They're 8-5, but they're beatable.
Yeah, really beatable.
So if you do it a third straight time, if you compete and you're close, maybe you win or you lose a close game, then I would say still the ceiling is in conference play 4 to 5 wins, right? I'm not going to sit here and say they can win 8 conference games. I don't think it's possible.
Mhm.
You've already lost 4. You've already played 4.
Okay,
you have
let's
16
stop.
left.
So you've crept. Okay, you're going to say it's not 8. You don't see 8 and
No.
12.
No,
Okay,
that means
then
they
what
win.
do you see?
That means they'd win half their games remaining.
Then what do you see?
Well, we talked about what's.
Just answer the question.
I think 4 or 5 they can win.
Okay, see, I think it's crept up a little bit. Sorry about that. Was I blunt?
Yeah.
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah.
No, it's
Was
good.
I blunt? Yeah, you're talking around my question.
I 4 to 5 wins.
Okay, see, I've crept up.
If you win 6 or 7, you're talking about winning almost half the games left.
I've crept up to 6.
I mean, that'd be pretty impressive. Still, I know it's still
got
only
it.
6 and 14.
You're
but
very right, though. You got this. This means beating Rutgers. I mean, if you're gonna get 6, you
you
got to
better beat
Rutgers.
Rutgers on Saturday.
But if you watch Northwestern play Penn State last night, come on, Nebraska can beat both those teams. Okay, if you get that's
if
3.
they play like they have the last 2 games,
Yeah.
they also can fall off any second.
Okay,
We've seen that before.
So let's stop right there. What has changed? I'll tell you what's changed. What's changed? They're playing through Derek Walker.
Yep.
A lot. Okay, we talked about that yesterday, and you saw it again.
Boy,
Hey,
he
by the
looked
way,
good last night.
Yeah,
he looked like a real Big Ten player.
yeah, he's one of the most improved players in the league.
Oh,
Derek Walker, Nebraska's 6'8" center forward, 8 for 9 last night. Now they didn't get it to him enough in the second half.
no,
He
they
had
did.
12 at halftime, 4 in the second half. They needed to get to him more. They are McGowan's. They're concentrating more on getting Bryce McGowan's downhill. That's got to happen more. McGowan's has not been efficient the last 2 games. Last night he was 5 for 16. Got to get
He
better.
forced some shots in the second half.
Right. What here's the key to me in this with this team is getting Verge, McGowan, and Walker now. If you have those 3 going, they're dangerous, Jake. Any coach in the Big Ten would tell you, hey, Verge, Bryce McGowan, and Derek Walker. If those 3 are going, they can beat anybody in the league. Now, that's obviously last night was a big if. Alonzo Verge was 2 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, he wasn't great last night.
No, they just didn't get enough from everybody not named Derek Walker. Everybody not named Derek Walker shot 37% from the field.
Kobe had a good night. He was 5 for 8, shooting 13 points. Kobe
Yeah, a
White's
lot
team.
of that was garbage time.
You're
Not to
right.
rain on his parade, but
you're right.
It was.
But yeah, but Verge 2 for 10. Yeah, that's it's not going to cut it in a game like that. You need him to be like Derek Walker. And I'll tell you what, stick with Derek Walker.
Hold on. You mean Verge needs to be like Derek Walker in
What?
terms of
Efficient,
efficiency,
a little
yeah.
bit more
yeah.
efficiency.
He's not going to be like Derek.
Yeah, but Derek Walker, I mean, these are not a bunch of easy shots he's making. He was getting contact. The people are trying to
Absolutely.
misdirect his shots.
Absolutely.
Like, this is not just Derek Walker cleaning up a miss and getting an easy layup or a dunk.
No.
He almost every one of those shots he had to work hard for, and he missed one. 8 for 9.
Yeah, look what he's shooting on.
Only 1 rebound, which stinks for your which is not great for your big guy, but his efficiency and the way he's scoring is really, really
Well,
impressive.
he's shooting 78% from the
I
field.
know, it just gets better. It gets better.
Yeah, so now what they're doing, like I said, keep saying they're running it through him. Yeah, I mean, and what is opposing coaches are going to have to make a decision now. Look what he's shooting. Just get that number, what it is now. Opposing coaches have to make a decision. He's not getting doubled at all. So he's getting the ball and he's got bigs guarding him one-on-one, and he's taking him to the hoop and scoring. Now, I don't think anybody imagined that from Derek Walker. He scored 71 points in 64 games at Tennessee. Okay. 71 points in 64 games. Okay. He's not, this is not what we expected.
Well, he
This
wasn't
is
much
an
of a scorer last year either here.
Not much.
Not like this.
This is an example, a great example of a player getting better.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, in a program, getting in a program, and I don't know, at some point the guys are going to have to ask who's working with the big men, who is making him better, or is it just sometimes a player just decides on his own, I'm going to do this. I can make myself better. I'm not reliant on anybody to do it. I'm going to make myself better. And that's what you've seen with him. And Fred's adjusted accordingly. You got to give him credit. It's interesting what you're saying, Jake, because there's the other question is now we're going to have to get to a point where we ask the question, is Fred going to do enough to save his job? Right? It's sort of like Frost, the Frost discussion, unfortunately. They are competitive right now. But what does that mean if you're not winning?
Yep.
Right?
Having issues closing.
Right. But are we going to look at this? Now, this is where you get kind of scared, Rick. Like the culture of the top two men's sports is sort of heading in this direction of, well, they're close.
Yep.
And let's see if they can get over the top. So if Fred goes 4-16 and loses a bunch of close games, 4-16 in the Big Ten, but there are a lot of close losses, are we going to say, well, I mean, they're close. And then bring it back next year and see, well, you're turning over the roster. Look how many guys you're going to lose.
I know.
Jake, we have to keep that in mind. You're losing Walker. You're going to lose McGowan's.
Yeah.
You're losing Verge. You're losing Mayan. You're losing Kobe Webster.
You're losing a lot of guys.
Yeah. So at some point, you got to say about this team, you got to get it done now. This isn't a building project.
Well, that's why it's important for them to beat Rutgers, which is going to be a tough game. But Sip, if you lose to Rutgers, I mean, here's the next 4 games after the next 5 games after that are this: home against Illinois, Kofi Cockburn. You almost beat them here last year. Went to overtime and lost that game, but still, that seemed like a fluke. Then you're at Purdue. Good luck. Home against Indiana, winnable. They lost to Penn
Really
State
winnable.
recently, but still not an easy game. At Ohio State, you pushed them, but now it's on their court, and they're not going to take you lightly this time. And then home against Wisconsin, who's been a bear so far.
you got to get Rutgers
You
in Indiana.
need to beat Rutgers, otherwise you're going to be 0-10. Probably.
You need to get Rutgers in Indiana. Get Rutgers.
those
in
are
Indiana.
and those are doable.
Yeah.
But
the way they're playing.
But they have. I mean, it's hard to put a must win on Rutgers because that's not an easy win. But they almost,
How do you say it's
and,
not?
And,
Oh,
and
you will put a must win on Frost every week, but you won't put a must win on Fred. Why is that?
I think
Why? Why do we do that?
It's hard to tell a team that's 0-4 to go win a basketball game.
There's
a lot of
this is a weird.
There's a lot of apathy when it comes to basketball. Again, I told you
It's hard to put a must win on them. They have to beat Rutgers, Jake.
What's your expectation for the season right now?
Well, my expectation and what needs to happen are probably different.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I mean, my expectation is 5-15, 6-14.
Okay.
But is that good enough?
No, it's not.
Okay, keep saying
Well,
that.
I've told
Then
you
why
that
isn't Rutgers a must win?
I've been leaning pretty heavily toward this is not
Why
going to
can't
work
you
out
say
at
the
Nebraska.
words Rutgers is a must win?
Because I don't know where you go from there if they don't win. You're not going to fire your coach mid-season.
No, but I think if Fred, we got to start. Don't you think we
Oh,
got to
the
start having
pressure's up.
more
I've
serious
told you.
questions?
I don't think at this point I don't expect him back for next season unless something changes. I mean, if this team you think can win 6 games,
We're not on the I'm not on that page right now.
you think they can win 6?
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they got to 6 wins.
The disappointing thing is that 6-14 is like going to be judged as okay, they got it going. I mean, yeah, no, but
That means
That's enough to
you
get
win
his-
6 of your final 16 games, less than half of your games
enough
left.
to get his job back, probably.
But that's the ceiling right now, right? Isn't 6? You're talking about the ceiling is getting his job back there at 6 wins.
Yeah.
How often do you hit the ceiling?
I know.
That's why I'm saying this feels like it's going toward the end here.
Stop.
Even though they played well the last 2 games, something really.
Right. Hold on.
But playing
That's
well,
true. That's true.
playing well is not winning though.
I know. Yeah, I knew it was going to be an interesting discussion because
I care about winning.
I know you do. The last 2 games have changed the discussion a little bit because they weren't competitive against Michigan, they weren't competitive against Auburn, and there was a lot of people thought that that was going to keep going. And what did I say back then? What did I say? You can't bury this team. Teams evolve. They're evolving right now. Fred made a couple critical tweaks playing through Walker, getting McGowan's going downhill more. Those are critical tweaks.
Mhm.
Now he's got to deal with Verge still. But teams do evolve, and you're seeing them evolve right now. They evolved away. You will give them this, Jake. What's going on over there?
Trying to fix the
You
temperature.
you will
here.
give them this.
Hot.
Oh, you did give them this
Oh,
already.
God.
You thought they were dead in the water after Auburn.
And Michigan,
Yeah,
both games.
yeah.
So this is
They're
this is
not
gonna be
now.
terrible.
Now you've changed to they're not dead in the water.
No,
They're not.
They
aren't.
They have figured some stuff out. They still have lost. Now they almost beat Ohio State. Went to overtime. Probably should have won the regulation.
And played Michigan State tough.
Michigan State, they played tough. Now can you go win some games though?
Say it.
Can you go win some games?
No, Rutgers is a must win.
If-
I bet you.
if-
I bet
okay,
you.
let me
In
say-
the
let me-
program,
let me
they're
say that.
saying
Let me say
that.
that. If Fred Hoiberg wants to be back for next year, sure. Rutgers is a must win on Saturday.
I'm not saying that. It's just a.
But aren't people out there leading toward this is probably going to be ending here
I
at the end of the
think
year?
so, but it's evolved. That discussion's Jake. It's a little early for that right now. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can have a lean though.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
early to say definitively, hey, this is not going to work out or we're going to have a new coach. But at right now on January 6th, despite playing well the last two games, what you're saying is you think that they can, if they play well the rest of the year, get to 6 wins.
Yeah.
And that's the ceiling. And I just ask you, how often does a team hit their ceiling? It
Well,
doesn't happen
we
very
could
often.
be wrong too. Maybe their ceiling's higher than that. That's the thing. We're
Yeah,
just
if they
setting an
win-
arbitrary ceiling.
If
right
they
now.
win above 6 and get to 7 or 8, which would be winning half your games the rest of the year, then yeah, he's going to come back. And
Okay.
there's some actual momentum to work with there.
but you can't. You're not going to get to 7 or 6 or 8 without beating Rutgers.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think you're right.
right.
Because
So
of what I-
just say it. Must win on
You got-
Saturday.
if Fred Hoiberg wants to be back next year and get to the win total we think he should get to or can get to, they'd better beat Rutgers.
The thing I won't now, we're not going to get in a brawl over this, but I don't understand the mentality you have of every Nebraska football game is a must win, but you can't do that in basketball. Jake,
Well, there's more games in football than there are in basketball. You can-
fewer football.
Sorry,
football,
my
yeah.
bad. Yeah, sorry. There are fewer football games than there are basketball games.
All right.
So
Whatever.
you can bounce from a bad loss quicker in basketball than you have football.
Now I
You
bet
play
you
2 games in a week usually.
I bet you some people are not happy with your contention that this is it for Fred. I mean, barring something unforeseen. See, I'm not in that mode right now. I'm not in that mode.
The last 2 games have been positive, even
Right.
even though they
It's
lost.
changed my
even
way of-
though they lost.
It's changed my thinking about that a little bit.
And now you're to say, can you build off that and actually get some wins and then plural get a win and then get
Gotta
plural
go
wins.
beat Rutgers. You got to, yeah. We can't do this thing where, they played Ohio State close, played Michigan State close, played Rutgers close. Then, I mean, come on. But what I'm seeing is a team that should beat Rutgers, Jake, and what I'm seeing is a team that should beat Northwestern. Now, I haven't seen the whole league, but if you can go to Michigan State and push them like that, a top 10 team, pretty good team. Michigan State's not. It's Big Ten's a
They
little
passed
odd.
the ball really well.
Yeah.
And
They had
Gabe,
19 turnovers, Jake.
okay, well, when they were playing clean basketball, their ball movement was great. Now, yeah, Nebraska did a good job forcing turnovers. I commend their defense last night.
They had 19 turnovers.
They did, and it was sloppy. I
Yeah.
mean, both teams weren't great. Nebraska had 15 turnovers in their loss, which has been a pretty standard number for them.
Yeah.
But Gabe Brown that guy's a dude.
Yeah, he's a dude.
That guy.
You've seen, though, I
yeah.
know what you've seen. You've seen Nebraska. They doesn't look like they're outmatched by these teams.
Not the last 2 games, at least.
Uh-uh.
And then you go back to the Kansas State game back in December. That's a game that both teams didn't play well. They just played a little less worse than you did. No one played great in that game. That was a bad basketball game. And you're thinking, this is your chance. Come on. You blew the NC State game. They went to 4 overtimes, and you got shellacked against Michigan and Auburn. You had a chance against Indiana. You blew that in the second half, lost by double digits.
Played them well, though.
And we found out Indiana is just an okay team.
Okay.
They're not great.
I'm really interested to hear what the text line says. I imagine they might be all over us for various reasons.
464-5685. Call or text as always. Someone says, if we move on from Fred, who do we get that's going to be better? Well, listen, Tim Miles wasn't the same type of name as Fred Hoiberg, and he had a far better record than Fred Hoiberg did.
Yeah, you
True.
can't play that. You can't
You can't
have
play
that
card.
mentality.
No.
You can't have that. I mean, come on, there's coaches.
I mean,
there's a lot of good
There's a
coaches
coach
out there.
that's out there that's not coaching anybody right now, Mark Turgeon
Yeah.
from Maryland, that had some success at Maryland.
There's a good answer to that question right there.
That's an answer.
Yeah,
Mark
that's a good-
Turgeon
no,
has
that's a-
won in this
Yeah,
conference.
that's a good answer. It's a good answer. Turgeon would be a good answer.
There's guys out
Oh
there.
yeah.
There's guys.
What if Indiana would have said, "Hey, what are we going to do? We can't get anybody. Let's just keep Archie Miller." It already looks like they've taken a step forward with Woodson.
Yep. Yeah. But they're still beatable.
They're beatable.
Jordan in Lincoln says this: only chance Fred is gone is if he steps down. Alberts will give him a chance as he did with Frost, and he should.
I mean,
But
he's
you
now
can say
hold
that
on.
right now, Jordan. But what happens if they don't win a game in conference play?
Jordan needs to. Jordan, think about this. Fred is 5-37 in the Big Ten.
Say it again.
Fred is 5-37. How much rope are you giving him here?
No,
And why
no.
does Fred get that much rope and the football coach never get that much rope? Forget Frost. I mean, we're firing 9 and 10 win football coaches, but we're saying, you got to give Fred time at 5-37.
Well, there's always been. I'm not saying this is right. There's always been a different expectation for those programs.
It's true. It's true.
That's built in.
But it's a little
Historically.
strange to dig your heels in and say this guy just needs more time at 5-37.
I'm not saying that anymore.
I know. I'm on the fencey right now. I'm kind of on the fence.
Like I told you, I should be a pretty telling story. I'm one of the biggest Nebraska ball fans, right? You've known that for years.
Yeah.
And I
For
sat down for the first time since early December, and watched a full game because it was just, watching the Michigan game tore my soul from my body. When I watched that at ESPN, when they lost by 30,
dramatic, Rick.
they lost by 35 points. They were never in the game. They played horrible defense. They took terrible offense. Like, my soul for basketball was taken out of my body to a different world that day, and I couldn't watch anymore. So this is killing me.
Yeah, I understand.
And so then
That was painful to listen to.
they play well against Ohio State. Okay, all right. I'll watch the Michigan State game.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasant experience. They lost, but I was trying to watch or see if there was actual basketball being played, not and one playground stuff. There was basketball.
Yeah, it was. Nebraska was down by 6 with 7 minutes left. 6 with 7 minutes left. Then scored just 2 points over the next 5 minutes. Nebraska went 1 for 5 in that stretch. Michigan State was 5 for 8.
Yeah, they've got the football cooties on them.
They do a little bit.
They can't finish.
Yeah.
Rick
They
Heyman.
cannot finish.
Rick Heyman.
That was the Ohio State game mostly. Last night, they got cold at the end, and that hurt. But the Ohio State game is the one you can say that was
Big
very
time.
Nebraska footballish, with the 5-point lead, 32 seconds to go, and you go to overtime.
Yeah, and you can't talk about these games like there's one team out there. Nebraska went cold, but part of the reason they go cold is because Michigan State turns up the defense. Michigan State hits shots. Got to give the other team credit. Michigan State's tough. It's got to be tough to go in there and beat them. Nebraska's now lost 9 straight to Michigan State.
Yep. Which feels weird because, like we said yesterday, Nebraska under Tim Miles had success against them. Now he lost the last few to end that, but there was a stretch there. They were winning or right in those games for 3 or 4 years, it felt like.
What else are people saying?
Okay, 464-5685. If someone says, I disagree with this, by the way, because he's leaving regardless. He says, if Fred leaves, so does Bryce. Bryce is leaving no matter what.
Yeah, you're not going to get McGowan back.
If Fred
next
is
year.
back, Bryce is still not back.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize something. Bryce McGowan's and Trey McGowan's will be gone. Derek Walker will be gone. Verge will be gone. Lat Mayan will be gone. Kobe Webster will be gone.
Who's left?
Well, they have guys coming back, but that's your main guys.
Gee.
I know the roster will flip again. That's what you got to keep in mind in this conversation.
Yep. This is from Doc, and I think this is a good point to make regarding the leash out there for Frost versus Hoiberg. Doc says Frost just had the worst record in modern Nebraska football. Name another football coach in Nebraska who would ever have gotten that much leash.
Right. His leash is now really short, though. It's really short. I get that, but Doc, Doc, you need to explain to me your tolerance for 5-37. That's what if you're going to raise that
I
sort
don't
of,
know if he is tolerant. He's just saying the leash about Frost.
right. I mean, that's where I stumble in this conversation. Yeah, they look better. Nebraska's competing with the very best teams in the Big Ten in the last 2 games. And clearly they didn't quit on Fred. Clearly they're buying in. You hear these guys on the Big Ten Network, like, who is the guy that you like? Your
Robbie
buddy?
Hummel was
Hummel was doing a game.
Andy Katz.
Katz was singing that tune of they're going to beat people. This team is
going
to beat people.
He did say that.
Yeah.
So, say, Andy, how many people are they going to beat?
Well, that becomes a question, right?
We're talking about 3 or
1
or 5.
If it's 3-17, now I would
That's
ask.
a pretty easy.
I would ask Jordan and Doc, if he's 3-17 in the league, how do you bring him back at that point?
I don't,
especially with no players coming.
Yeah,
back.
if
right.
you lose your team, you go 3-17. You're dead last again.
Yeah,
in
you're
the
not building anything.
What
here.
are you building?
You're gonna rip. You're gonna overhaul the roster again.
Is there NIL money here for the basketball players?
Of course, there
Yes,
is.
there is.
Yeah.
But compared to other schools,
well, we don't have those comparisons because schools don't talk openly about it.
yeah. Well, just look at the predominantly basketball schools. I guarantee you, they've got massive NIL money, for
Or
those
just
kids.
massive, or just
Yeah,
massive.
that's just a lot of money.
Yeah.
Um,
NIL money laundering.
Doc follows up
Money
with
laundering.
this. He says, I think Fred's a decent coach, but his mistake at Nebraska was he hired a bad staff. His staff has not contributed much to the results on the court
Well, he's put all his trust in Matt Abdelmassih.
to get the players here.
Right. All of the recruiting is Abdelmassih. Abdelmassih handles all the roster management. Okay. Do people understand that? Matt Abdelmassih puts the team together. Okay. He's the recruiter. Fred signs off on it. Like he's the general manager. He is in charge of the roster. Fred has put his trust in Abdelmassih, much the way he did at Iowa State, and it worked. Now, we don't know if it's going to work at Nebraska. We're wondering that right now.
Also, regarding Bryce McGowan's, that's a guy that this has been a pretty common stat line for him recently. 5 for 16, very low efficiency, and I'm still hearing that he's a first round projection. I know he's likely gone. He's not coming back. He's going to be a one and done. I don't know if that guy's ready yet. I think he could, if it's Fred or somebody else, he could use another year in college. I don't think it's going to happen.
But I know
Too much money.
But Sip, this is the stat line. He's usually 5 for 16 or 6 for 19. Very inefficient.
Yeah, you need to look at his Big Ten numbers or his numbers against Power 5. He's a little inefficient. I love him. I
like the way he plays too.
Here's what's happened with him though. He's gone cold a little bit from the 3-point line. He shoots his shot selection isn't great, but right now he's playing really well when he's going to the basket. He's just got to go to the basket more.
Yeah, he's settling for. He took 7 threes last night.
Can't
made his first one, missed the next 6.
Yeah, he can't settle. And he can shoot a 3. I'm not saying you can't shoot a 3, but he's got to get out of the habit of shooting contested threes early in the clock. Fred gives him all the rope. He's got a green light. And sometimes I think he takes a little bit advantage of that. Fred gives everybody a green light,
Yes.
But no, what I just will keep saying about McGowan's is if I'm on the other end of it, if I'm Tom Izzo, if I'm Rutgers staff, I'm really concerned about McGowan's because he can beat you single-handedly.
Yeah, he needs to have one of those nights where he's just on and he goes for 35 points.
Yeah, see, he's capable of that. I don't know right now if he is.
We have not. He had a good game against NC State, a lot of points there in that 4 overtime game. But we haven't seen him really in conference play take off.
Here's the deal.
He has flashes.
Here's the deal.
But that's it.
Here's
right
the deal. Verge, McGowan's, and Walker, if they have a night where they're all 3 going, efficient, making good decisions, Nebraska could beat just about anybody.
Right. And that's a big if, though, to have all 3 guys clicking.
It is.
And they haven't done it yet. It's a huge if. That's what it takes, though. That's sad, though. It takes all that, 3 guys on the same page and clicking to win a basketball game.
No, I didn't say that, Jacob. I said they could beat just about anybody.
Well, I'm saying
if all those 3 guys are clicking, they'll beat Northwestern by 30. Okay.
Like they beat Rutgers by 30 last year with Banted going off that one night.
Right. If all three of those guys are
can't
clicking,
just be just
they'll
a
be
one-off.
they'll
though.
be
That's the
no.
problem.
I know. If I'm saying if all those three guys are playing well, they would beat Michigan State on the road. If you had Verge, McGowan, and Walker all going,
Yep.
they would have won that game.
And last night, Verge didn't have it going.
No.
Bryce didn't
Kind
have it
of
going
had it
enough.
going, right.
5 for 16, and he lost by 12.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I've watched a few games now in the Big Ten. They'll beat Northwestern.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, no, they will.
they should. Let's say they should
They
beat
should.
Northwestern, and
And if they don't, then you really have.
they can beat
serious
Penn
issues.
State too.
Oh yeah.
And they can't. They can beat several teams in this conference, but we've seen this in the past where we thought this is the game they win, and they lose that game.
You could take me to task for this and hammer me hard, but I don't mind saying it. I'll be surprised if they don't beat Rutgers on Saturday. I'll be surprised. You could say, why would you be surprised?
Let me wait until I see if there's any sort of COVID issues with either team. Then I'll Friday. Wait till Friday.
Good point.
Because you have to.
That's a great point.
Honestly, you have to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who's playing, who's not. Right. That's where we're at.
The
right
way
now.
Nebraska's played the last couple games, I will be surprised if they don't beat Rutgers.
All right, there it is. It's on tape. When we come back,
All
we'll
right.
discuss Casey Thompson next, an early break on the ticket.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies, bitterly cold conditions here for our Thursday, only topping out near 11 with a northwest wind at 10 to 15. That will promote wind chill values well below zero for much of the day. Tonight, a low of around 5 as warmer air tries to move in, and we will be slightly warmer tomorrow with a high of 23. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games. Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street. If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The only thing that people want to hear about right now in this state is the quarterback position for Nebraska football. Well, what's the answer going to be? When do we get our guy? We know they offered that Chubba Purdy's coming to town next week to take a visit.
Chubba.
And yesterday, Sip, there was a quarterback in town that's been a very popular one for Nebraska fans to follow and see if he can make his way to Lincoln and commit here. And that was, of course, former Texas starting quarterback Casey Thompson in town with his dad yesterday in Lincoln.
Yes.
You tweeted out that you were watching some film of Casey.
Yes.
Sip.
Yes,
And,
I did. I watched a lot last
You put on your analyst hat there, your cap.
I was interested. Here's why I'm
Chris
interested.
Collinsworth cap.
Okay, so here's what's going on, guys. Yeah, Casey Thompson was here with his dad, as you read and you said. He is also considering, The Athletic reported that he's also considering Oklahoma, Auburn, Missouri, and Indiana. Auburn, of course, concerns you because it's the SEC. Wink, wink. Auburn, when you see an SEC team in there, Missouri, I guess, to a certain extent, same way. They're an SEC team. Okay, so Casey, what I saw, and I watched, all of his plays in the Oklahoma game, the Red River Shootout, and all of his plays in last year's. He came in the Alamo Bowl last year against Colorado, and played well. Okay, so I mean, I know this from people who know him, including one of, let's say a Nebraska person who met with him yesterday. Very confident, which is good. I mean, probably trending toward cocky, yeah, which is fine. That's absolutely. You want that in a quarterback.
Fine, good with that.
Good pocket presence. Definitely has a pretty quick release.
Why was that hesitant? What was it? You seemed tentative there.
Awkward the way I said it. Definitely has a pretty good release.
That's
He's got exactly. He's got a good release. Arm strength is good. Quick feet. He's interesting to me. He's a good runner, but he doesn't run much. He just doesn't. Now, I don't know how much that would change at Nebraska. Who the hell knows? Because we don't know what the offense is, right?
Right. Yeah. Mark Whipple is
right.
Other than that.
Yeah,
So I don't know what they'd ask him to do, but I'll tell you one thing: if he takes off, he's dangerous.
Did you have a comparison to him at all? From
It reminds me a little smaller Adrian. He's 6. They list him at 6'1", 195, but he's not 6'1", so he's a little smaller. But he doesn't seem to have problems in the pocket at all, getting passes batted down. Okay, now the thing I gotta add though, he's a good decision maker, quicker decision maker than Adrian. All right. He's a good
quick blinker, you're saying.
Yeah, he manages the game well. I mean, and he's really athletic. He can get in trouble in the pocket like Adrian, or he can be in trouble in the pocket like Adrian, and then get out of it and make a play. So that's why he reminds me of Adrian a little bit. You can the pocket can collapse. He can dance around because he's got good feet and he's got good balance, and then fire it downfield. It's a good look.
Good arm strength though.
Yeah, good. Yeah, not I wouldn't say great arm strength, but good enough to throw a good deep ball, which he did against Oklahoma 3 or 4 times. Now, Oklahoma. Think about Texas though. Who's that running back? Robinson, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, Bijan, yeah.
Okay, they had Xavier Worthy. They had Joshua Moore. He was working with some stuff.
Yeah, some talent there.
Yeah. And Texas, people are going to say Texas was 5-7.
And someone's saying the text line, this is the same guy that couldn't beat Kansas, right? He played well. He had 6 touchdowns, right, in that game.
Hold on. Casey Thompson, I don't know if he played. Did he play against Kansas? You have to look that up.
Well, Texas lost to Kansas this year.
Yeah.
And their quarterback, if it was Hibbert, had 6 touchdowns and 1 pick in the game, so it's not his fault.
Yeah, you know me.
The defense played terrible in that game for Texas.
I don't go to a game. I don't simplify it that way. They lost to Kansas. That's on Casey Thompson.
Not if he scored 6 times.
Right. It's just like what I was saying against about Michigan and Georgia. I'm not putting that loss on Cade McNamara. My God, you couldn't. I don't care who you put back there for Michigan. They weren't going to beat Georgia. They did. So I don't say, well, yeah, he couldn't beat Georgia, Cade McNamara. Of course he couldn't. He was under duress the entire game.
You can't. Okay, here's Casey Thompson did start for Texas in that game.
Okay.
Here's the stats. If you want to say this is why they lost, then so be it. But the defense was horrible. Thompson against Kansas in the loss for Texas. 30 for 43, pretty efficient. 358, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Yeah, that's not on him.
I don't think he's the reason why they lost the game.
No. Okay, so let's just
also
get
had
down
a rushing
to it.
touchdown.
Let's just get down to it. If Nebraska gets Chubba Purdy and Casey Thompson, I think you feel pretty good. And I would say, based on what I heard yesterday, I'm going to put a 75% chance on Nebraska getting Casey Thompson.
Really?
What about on Chubba Purdy?
85 on Purdy. I wrote it on Twitter. I don't mind saying it. 85 on Chubba, 75 on Thompson. I think Nebraska felt pretty good yesterday when Thompson and his dad were here. Now, again, these things are rough. Auburn scares me. And you just never know. These things are really dicey,
especially with the money involved.
Right.
Yep,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Good question. The text line is what did Casey's offensive line look like at Texas?
Okay.
Because obviously here you have some work to do.
Okay. They're 5-7. I mean, just okay. Okay. Not great on Texas offensive line.
So again, Casey Thompson was in town yesterday. We'll see when he commits. What do you expect by the end of the month? What do you expect?
I would think
end of the
if
week?
they get Thompson, I think we'll know by the end of the week.
So that's
tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow then, or Sunday.
Yeah. By Sunday.
Okay,
Saturday,
by Sunday.
By
All right.
Sunday, Saturday, something like that. I don't, and I think they got to get him in. They got to get somebody in the boat now. I'm kind of in that. I said yesterday, if you take this into May, it's not the end of the world, and it's not the end of the world. But I don't think you want to mess with it. Casey Thompson was in Lincoln. He's interested in it. If you're Frost, I think you got to try to close this down. Okay, get him. He's pretty good. He's not perfect. He's not but it's just like a relationship.
Yeah, you can't be
with
too picky right now.
with a woman. I mean, you're not going to get perfect. She's not going to get perfect. You're not going to get perfect.
Speak for
If it's
yourself.
good,
Yeah.
if it's good, then it's probably good enough, right?
Okay, yeah, right. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
I can go with
If you
that.
feel good, then, and I think you got to feel good about Casey Thompson. He was here. He's interested. From what I saw, and his stats are good. 63% passer, 24 touchdowns, 9 picks.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, ran 55 times, averaged 3 yards a carry. I just didn't see anything that would say red flag.
We will keep eye on that and see where he ends up. If it's Nebraska, hopefully that's the case. And then we can all take a collective breath here finally when it comes to the quarterback. Rick Haven's Song of the Day is up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies, bitterly cold conditions here for our Thursday, only topping out near 11 with a northwest wind at 10 to 15. That will promote wind chill values well below zero for much of the day. Tonight, a low of around 5 as warmer air tries to move in, and we will be slightly warmer tomorrow with a high of 23. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street. If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already in our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Bagels & Joe is ready for winter with white chocolate raspberry cream cheese, great on any bagel. And try a grilled Italian panini for lunch with ham, prosciutto, banana peppers, and provolone on a sun-dried tomato bagel. Bagels & Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Move over, Jake.
I'm moving. Jeez.
Thursdays are reserved for a man with a wider range of music knowledge than Jake could ever dream of.
Guy should be on Mount Rushmore of famous, fabulous, incredible musicians, singer-songwriters.
A man who knows a good song when he hears it, just as much as a good diamond when he sees it.
You get a diamond.
Yes, I do get a diamond. I get a diamond, and that makes me happy.
It's time for Rick Heyman's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers, on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket.
Nobody else could call you. Never gave me such a beautiful feeling. A woman to touch my soul now. Wanna touch her now. Oh, baby, just a little bit tighter. Oh no, we're just a little bit tighter now, baby. I love you so much and I can't let go. No, no, no. Oh no. I'm just a little bit tired now, baby.
Song of the day, Tighter, Tighter by Alive and Kickin'. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on Rick Heyman's Sartor Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. You know, I'm fairly certain I've never heard this song before, but I'll tell you, my rating's going to be high. This is, again, the song of the day for One Hit Wonders by Rick Heyman to start off the year. Tighter, Tighter by Alive and Kickin'. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on Rick Heyman's Sartor Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Rick and I are elders, so we've
You're
heard
aware
that,
of that song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it. I don't. My guess, I probably heard it 25 times.
25,000 times.
I don't know if I've heard it that much. Like it. Now, like it. It has a ceiling. It doesn't bring the.
I might go higher than you then here.
Bring the final oomph, but it's good, pleasant. I'm really interested to hear what Rick says about that band. I will give that a strong 7.3.
I'm going higher. I didn't know that song. It was a very pleasant sound. I'm going to download that song. Rick, that's the goal of this segment, is to have me download the song. I'll go 8 too. I liked it. And I don't usually go higher than SIP on the ratings. I'm a little bit tougher, but I like that song. Never heard it, and I liked it.
It's well put together. That little horn in the back.
Yeah, I like the horn. The horns always. Yeah, it's good.
Harrison.
Oh boy!
Come on, Harrison.
Harrison,
we're involving.
Remember,
Harrison.
you got a free breakfast sandwich.
Yep.
Harrison is 22.
Yep.
He is our EP. He's going to write on a grease board right now.
Yeah,
That's
he already did. He's already got it done.
He's already got it.
Oh, guess.
5.
This is not Harrison's style at all.
4.
Yeah, 3. I'm going 3.0.
6.4.
6.4.
Good
Look
vibe.
at that. How about that, Rick? You got Harrison.
I can't read him sometimes.
No, I can't.
Extra
either.
2 points for the breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, I think that's right. The breakfast sandwich added some points in there. Well, tell us
I
about.
think your influence gets him.
Hey, I know what I'm doing.
He knows who not to mess with. 6.4.
I like his haircut, by the way.
Yeah, it is. He looks
does.
fresh.
It
He
looks
looks
good.
fresh.
Handsome fella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Alive and Kicking.
Okay.
Known originally as Alive and Kicking, sometimes spelled Alive and Kicking. One Hit Wonders. We're going to do
Yep, One Hit Wonders.
Here we are in balmy January.
It's balmy outside. that's for
Balmy
sure.
January. It's 25 below wind chill.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in sports worth anything right now.
Well,
other than this quarterback conversation.
Yeah.
So let's just pull out some oldies, some one-hit wonders. Why not? Okay, they're a Brooklyn band.
Brooklyn.
Led by singers and because those are Sumpta Sippers.
Oh,
mainly
nice.
known for their 1970 hit single "Tighter and Tighter," which reached number on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100.
They
chart.
sang Tighter. I can sing Tighter. and
That's
Tighter.
the song right there.
That's it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, now This is 1970.
Stop it, Harrison.
This is the song.
Addled.
Tighter and tighter.
Addled.
The song
Okay,
we
what
just
talking
played.
about.
All right, keep going.
Put my head down.
Just stop.
1970. Okay, this is the golden era.
I just flipped
Jake,
off Harrison on the YouTube.
You did.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
If you could have lived during this time, you would have lost your mind, because
In a good
radio was so different. Music was so different. You would hear this on any radio station. It didn't have, it wasn't segmented like it is now.
Okay.
You got country, you got R&B, you got pop, you got rap, you got rock. They don't have that. They didn't have that then. You heard everything.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a nice.
So
time.
this is a beautiful, fun, mellow song. Hanging out with your girlfriend, having a beer, whatever. The 6 original members formed the band when they were teenagers in 1968.
Really?
In guitarist Dave Shearer's basement, like everybody did. I mean, we were all in a band back then. We were all in a garage band.
Or in the basement.
In the basement. Anyway, there's very little information about these guys, obviously, because they were one and done. However, they gained popularity when they began recording for Tommy James on the label he was signed to, which was Roulette Records. Now, you can hear a little bit of this on this song. In early 1970, the band began recording sessions. A song written and produced by Tommy James, Bob King, and arranged by Jimmy Wisner was to be recorded, although James originally considered having his friends do this song, now known as Crystal Blue Persuasion.
Oh.
So they were going to play that song.
Oh.
And Tommy James wrote it. By the way, the first concert I ever went to in my life was Tommy James at Pershing.
Do you know the song Crystal Blue Persuasion?
Well,
Can't say that I
yeah,
do.
you need to look that up.
I'll look it up after the show.
It's amazing. It's one of the greatest songs. Okay.
Crystal Blue Persuasion.
Crystal Blue Persuasion. Yeah.
It's a new vibration.
Right. It's pretty good.
Okay. He liked that song so much, he decided to keep it for himself. As a gesture of friendship to the group, he wrote this song, Tighter, Tighter, for them. After recording the hit song, the group replaced so-and-so and so-and-so new lineup. The song was released in May of 1970 and stayed on the U.S. charts for I will say it sold over 1 million copies and received a gold record award by the RIAA.
That song.
Because back then we had singles.
Yeah.
Everything was on a 45.
Times have changed.
45.
Yeah.
Jake has an old soul.
I do. I
Jake
belong
would
back
have
then.
loved that
I
world.
belong
You
back
would
then.
have.
Yeah.
And the other thing, fidelity was pretty low on radio, and your little 45s really sucked as far as quality.
Yeah, they did.
So you didn't really know what they were saying unless they printed the lyrics on the album.
Okay.
Now
Tougher
you
to
could
hear,
hear it
yeah.
perfectly,
Sure.
but back then you couldn't. So you were always guessing and making up words of what they were singing.
That's what I do anyways. That's my life.
That's
Right.
what he
I have
still does.
lyricosis.
Yes,
It's a
I was gonna
disease.
say.
Lyricosis.
He got to be careful, Jake. He will ruin a song for you.
I've ruined many songs for you. Many. Let's go with 12. Maybe 15.
So with that in mind, we got Stump the Sippers.
We're ready to go.
Okay, was this on the charts longer or shorter than 17 weeks?
Tighter. Okay, I should know this. What was the year again?
1970.
Okay, got pretty young. I was 4. I'm gonna say. You say 17 weeks?
17
It was
weeks.
longer than that.
You get a CZ, it was 16.
Oh, trick question.
But still, 16.
It's pretty
That's-
good.
That's 4 months.
That's
In
pretty
that
good. That's
era,
pretty good.
you had the Beatles, you had
Yeah.
the Stones, you had everybody.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Was the lead singer named Paco, Pepe, or Carlos?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Pepe.
You get a diamond.
Yes.
Pepe Cardona.
Pepe
Nice job,
Cardona.
Sip. There you
Thank
go.
you,
You got
Jake.
one
Isn't
right.
that a great name?
Pepe.
Pepe
Pepe.
Cardona. That'd be a
Sounds
great
like a
name.
jockey.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
that'd be a great name for a band or a quarterback or a
Pepe.
running back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would.
Is
Now that you mention it.
is Pepe still alive?
Of course he's still alive.
You get another CZ.
Oh.
Died in 2019. And a bonus question to rectify it. Did he die of cancer, heart attack, or MS?
MS.
You get another CZ. It was cancer, unfortunately.
Well, I'm okay with getting the CZ on
1 for 4 on that one.
Yeah.
1 for
Not
4
very good.
today.
But your show has been good this week.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, Rick,
The
you don't need
game
to say
show.
that.
No,
thank
you've
you.
been good.
3-0 on your actual Shut Up Simple.
Yeah.
The Shut Up
Thank you.
Simple
He's
show.
already
You've
got
been
a win.
listening to the shows?
Of course, I listen to the show every day.
He's got a winning week going.
Thank you,
Everybody
Rick.
listens to this show.
Everybody in America and the world. Of
course.
Rick, that was fun. God,
Yes.
see now that's a song I never would have expected to come in and hear.
Well, I
today.
never heard it, and I gave it a higher rating than you.
Now you
So-
go need to, your assignment today is listen to Crystal Blue Persuasion.
Okay.
And go
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at the live version on YouTube.
Then we can all sing it
Okay.
next
Yeah,
week. together.
you're right. By the way, Jake will like Crystal Blue.
He'll
Persuasion.
love it.
And you know what? What else I predict? He'll say, "Oh, I've heard that song."
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, Yacht Rock. Come on.
Yacht Rock doesn't exist right now. It's
Yeah,
on
it is. It's
Really?
it's on the app.
Oh, it's
But
not,
you heard
it's
it,
not
but-
on the actual.
But
They
you
took it
heard
off
it on.
serious.
You've heard it on Yacht Rock.
Okay, they took it off serious.
yeah,
Yacht Rock?
it says like Sinatra. It's like something
It's a
Sinatra,
Sinatra
now.
channel.
And then I know that doesn't exist right now. It just goes blank when I go to
No,
that
it's in the
station.
summer. Is Yacht Rock,
Okay,
but
I
it's
missed it.
on the app.
Okay, I'll let check it
Rick,
out.
thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome
Rick.
to
Before
stick
that you
around.
go, what's going on now at Sauter Heyman Jewelers?
Well, we had a record year last year. Thank you to all of our customers. It was amazing. We're getting ready for Valentine's right now. We've got a bunch of specials coming. It's hard to believe that's just around the corner. That's about a month from now. But if you want to get in early and take a look at this Husker stuff we've got, you could check it out on our website. But yeah, I mean, if you want to spend $150, you're going to anyway. You know, you take her out to dinner, you get flowers, a couple of drinks. Get her a Husker pendant or one of these other Husker items that we've got. They're fantastic. We sold a ton of them at Christmas. But yeah, check us out. It's kind of winter doldrums right now, but you know, we're here. We're downtown, South Point, and Grand Island, of course. Check us out at SauterHeyman.com and then check us out on Facebook at Sauter Heyman and go to my personal Facebook page, Rick Heyman, and I will post more information and the video of this band today.
All right, Rick, always appreciate it. Thank you for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Top of the hour next with Mike Schaefer here in studio. An early break on the ticket.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We are built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies, bitterly cold conditions here for our Thursday, only topping out near 11 with a northwest wind at 10 to 15. That will promote wind chill values well below zero for much of the day. Tonight, a low of around 5 as warmer air tries to move in, and we will be slightly warmer tomorrow with a high of 23. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories this fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artisan cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com. Proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
When everything is changing, you need a store that's a constant. A store that has the brands your family loves and the value that you need. A store where you can stock up, pick up, and drive up. A store that's close to home and feels like home. A store that puts the health and safety of you and your family above all else. And a store that's always here to help. At Kohl's, we don't know what next year will look like. We just know that we'll be here for you no matter what. Kohl's, here today, here to stay. See store or kohls.com for details.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Thursday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. The show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking. You can always watch the show on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and call or text at 402-464-5685. Look who has made his way to the studio
Schaefer.
For the first time in 2022. Mike Schaefer, 24/7 Sports. Good morning, Schaefer.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Gosh, I mean, this is beautiful. I was tempted to say, well, we got a lot of football stuff to talk about, but we got to ask Schaefer about basketball, too, that whole basketball discussion that we had where you were sort of curiously odd on.
Curiously odd
Yeah.
is how he described it.
Yeah, Jake will not put a must win on any basketball game. I'm putting that on Saturday's game. But
It depends what the season's all about at that point. Is it a must win if you want to go to the postseason just for the sake of Fred Hoiberg's job status?
I'm not even saying that. Just for your season. Like, I think if you're in the program, like if you're on the coaching staff if you're a veteran player, you're saying we got to beat Rutgers. We got to beat them. I mean, if you're looking at what's happened and what's ahead, the only logical conclusion is we got to win this game.
Well, Schaefer,
wrong?
hold your thought on that for 1 second. 1 second, because this, hang on. The hour is sponsored by Trek CBD.
Yes.
There we go.
Tell us about them, then we'll get to that.
I just stopped out there again last week and got some new products. Shelby, I don't know if it was the move. I don't know what it was, dealing with some back pain.
Yes.
Picked up a roller gel that, was able to apply to areas that were sore for her back, and she was happy with it. And
They
so-
have roller gel?
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
so
awesome.
the Shannon at the store was telling me that her husband took it to a softball tournament recently. They also are down in North Carolina, so you can actually play softball this time. Maybe not specifically this time of year,
Interesting,
but
yeah.
more recently. And she's like, oh yeah, that thing was getting passed around by all the old guys. So if you're an old guy and you get a little back pain, little side pain, the roller gel might be what's right for you.
Yeah,
So-
interesting.
that. I'm
So did it help Shelby?
Yeah, she was it helped at the time. It's one of those you reapply kind of things. I think she has kind of a chronic back thing going on. Yeah, kind of got to figure that out. But
Yeah.
and then picked up some stuff for Slider. He has not enjoyed the move near as much as everybody else in the house. Still doesn't quite understand, I think, what's going on. I think he thinks we're at an extended stay motel.
Oh, no.
So,
When are we leaving, guys?
We've had some incidents that CBD wouldn't necessarily take care of, but they can help with the anxiety. Picked them up some calming treats, and so we'll see how those
helps.
kind of help as we go through week 2.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, when was the move? When did
The 24th,
24th,
23rd,
Christmas
23rd.
Eve.
and now we're on
Christmas
the
Eve,
6th.
23rd. Yeah.
Yeah, just tell him we're
It's
not
2
checking out.
weeks.
We're not checking
2
out.
weeks.
Tell
This
Slider.
is a long extended
He was
stay.
doing the thing
Permanent.
where anytime a door or a garage door was open, he would just bolt. But then he would get outside of it and he'd turn around. It wasn't like he was running away necessarily, but he's like he wanted to be outside because he just felt like we were on to the next thing. And it's like,
No, we're staying here, man.
This
Yeah,
is where we're
Yeah,
at.
it's hard with dogs because you can't talk to them. They can't understand you. You can't understand them. So it's really hard. I always want to say to Bull, I just can't understand what you're getting at here.
Speak English. Speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Speak,
I wish
dog.
you could understand what I'm saying. I can't understand what you're saying. You can't do that with Slider. I mean,
Poor dog.
yeah. All right.
All right, there you go. Again,
You
that's-
got to try to impart to him that we're here. This is permanent.
Yeah, I mean we got his stuff out. He's got his bed.
Yeah.
He's got like the blanket that he likes to lay on. There's no blinds in the house right now, so the sun's coming directly in. And so like I lay it out and he lays on it like he's at the beach and he's just soaking up the
Yeah,
sun.
all right. Dogs love that.
There's things that he's enjoyed about all of this, but
He's at the beach.
Put some blankets over the windows. I'm sure the neighbors would love you. For
yeah,
that.
well, I mean, it is what it is. The window treatments aren't coming till February, so
All right, well,
Oh God.
the beach,
the thing is, I rock a sweater year round.
beach
so.
time for Slider all day.
All right, where are you going to start with Schaefer? Because it's pretty. We got two pretty
Do
interesting.
we want to go to
topics.
hoops or do we want to go to Casey Thompson?
Well,
this
you
time?
got to think about the people. Don't think about yourself. I think people always want to hear football.
I think
first.
so as well.
And Schaefer's been all over this Thompson.
So
stuff.
Casey Thompson, again, the Texas quarterback who started last year, is in the portal. He visited Nebraska yesterday with his dad. We know Chuba Purdy is visiting next week, and that's a guy from Florida State. I guess this is a guy that we were curious about for weeks now, Casey Thompson. If he was interested in Nebraska, obviously he is because he came here. What are you hearing from yesterday's visit and in general about his status in terms of maybe coming to Nebraska?
I don't have much off of yesterday's visit. I mean, I know that the
hard
interest
to.
has been relatively strong from the get-go, and some of that is trying to circle the programs that you want to play for and the programs that might have interest in you. And so you've got to be able to navigate that a little bit. I think they have like kind of a top 5 that they're looking at.
Yeah, go ahead and name them.
I believe it's Nebraska, Auburn, Oklahoma, Indiana, and then I always forget
Auburn, Missouri. Yeah,
Missouri.
Auburn. Yeah, Missouri.
And so, what we were basically efforting last night is to try to figure out, okay, so what are the real channels that he has here? And I think Auburn has some interest, but I don't know that it's to the point that he's a top guy or who they're definitely zeroed in on.
Okay.
And then as for the other schools, I think there is general interest, but I think at this point, Nebraska might be out in front of the pack, which is sort of kind of where things have been for several weeks now. And so I think the ball is very much in Nebraska's court, where if they basically are like, all right, you're in, we're in, let's do this, this thing could get wrapped up pretty quickly. But I don't know. I don't know if Nebraska is waiting on someone else. I don't know where that aspect of it is. It feels like right now, if the Thompsons wanted to finish this whole thing off, Nebraska is maybe their best shot right at this moment. But I don't know if they have the ability to.
And I think, Shafe, that Thompson is Nebraska's best shot at the moment.
Yeah. I
with Chubba.
I felt like that for a little while.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I've kind of been in this mindset of, I don't know if Nebraska is waiting on something, but you don't want to get to the point where you wait too long. And this is a guy that I think could step in, give you competent quarterback play right away in 2022, potentially bridge you over to someone that you're attempting to develop, and set your program so you get to stay in charge. Because that's kind of the key aspect of all of this.
Yep.
So to me, it works on a lot of levels. I don't know that he's going to come here and be Kyler Murray and a Heisman candidate, but I do think he's someone that can step in and run the offense that I suspect that they're going to run, and do it at a high enough level. And it's not like he's Drew Bledsoe back there either. You know, like I think people, the sense I've gotten since the Mark Whipple hire is, well, are the quarterbacks just going to be standing back there because they got no offensive line to protect them? Because obviously Adrian had to, he had to use his legs a lot. I mean, Casey Thompson can move a little.
This is another reason Casey Thompson makes sense. Yeah, he does move well in the pocket.
I mean, he climbs the pocket. He's not someone who's just going to run for 600 yards.
No, he's not going to.
Could he get you 200 yards and an extra 6 touchdowns in the red zone by escaping pressure? Yeah, I think he can.
Yeah, he's okay. So people wonder why. I mean, there is going to be inherently there's going to be limited information in these situations, generally speaking. I mean, Nebraska's in a dead period right now, recruiting wise. These guys,
how much they really wanted to talk or get into yesterday.
I'd say they didn't want to.
I don't think it was designed to be information that was completely out there.
Right. So it's not like the kid talks to the media. The dad might a little bit, but Nebraska can't talk about him. I mean, that's the thing.
And certainly not when there's, the recruiting isn't open. So in theory, they couldn't be around him yesterday.
Right. That's the thing. They couldn't be around him. So, that's part of it. But no, I'm totally with you on Casey Thompson. Let's just put it this way. If they get Casey Thompson, he's their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
that's it.
That's the whole point.
your guy. That's your dude.
And I would say that would be good based on what I've seen. I did do a deep dive. He can do it. He can.
So if he were to commit by this weekend, that Chubba Purdy is visiting next week.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
How does that change that? Do you think he still visits? We've talked. Does he still commit here, knowing he's not going to be a starter?
We've talked about this, and it feels like Nebraska wants 2 quarterbacks. I think Sipple has phrased it as such, where you want the experienced guy that comes in for 22, and then he kind of bridges things over, because what Nebraska doesn't want to have to do is play this game of musical chairs every year in the transfer portal.
Right.
And so if you can get Chubba Purdy and you can talk to him and basically be like, look, you're going to have the opportunity to win the starting job, but we're looking to try to develop you for a little bit further down the line. That's the pitch.
He's got 4 years.
I don't know that he's got a ton of options either. So, you're talking about a guy who Nebraska might be one of his best options, and that's potentially to be a backup for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got to compete against Logan Smothers and Heinrich Harburg and everybody else. And so that's kind of what it feels like Nebraska's trying to do here.
Yeah, Chubba's got 4 years. 4 years. He's a 4 for 4. So he's got time. Yeah, it's exactly. Now here's the question, Schaefer, and I don't know this. Has Nebraska communicated that sort of situation to Chubba Purdy? That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you find out.
Yeah. So we'll find that out. Yeah.
I mean,
I hope they have.
This kind of feels obvious, but the more important aspect of the two is you get the guy that you think can help you win the most in 2022.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if it results and hurts feelings for the guy that you were hoping to develop, you got to move on.
You got to move on.
You can't let that be a detriment to, because again, none of it matters if it doesn't work in 2020.
Right. In the Purdy piece, if I'll call it the Purdy piece, meaning the second guy, the guy that you might want to develop, that guy you could get in May. I mean, if Purdy doesn't come, you can wait and there'll be another round of guys after spring ball. You can get that guy in May.
Yeah.
So if Purdy doesn't play ball, that's not nearly as consequential as if Casey Thompson doesn't play ball. I'm already calling him by his first name, Casey. R. Casey.
Casey, the quarterback.
R. Casey. I put a 75% chance.
Great NIL deal opportunities with Casey's General Store.
Right. I can hook him up with that. Let me get talking with them.
It is. Pizza.
It's right
Makes
there.
a lot of sense.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, let me get on that one. I'll take care. I'll
He
take
could be
care
the
of that.
voice on those wakey commercials.
Oh no, those ones are done. Those commercials
Are they done?
Yeah, wakey,
Those
new
are
breakfast at Casey's.
Those are tough.
Those ones are gone.
Hey,
those are fun.
So I think we're totally on the same page on this, and I do think you could know by the end of the week.
I just think that it's an opportunity. You get a veteran quarterback who has started I think he started 11 games, 10 games.
Yeah, 12 games I think this year.
And so
I'll check it out. Hold on.
I think he's
check.
played
I got
12, but I thought he only started.
Oh, you might be right. You might be started
and,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
And again, is it Kyler Murray? No. Is it Baker Mayfield? No. But is it someone that you can go and have an opportunity to have success with at a higher level than what's currently in your room? I think yes. And so therefore, that's kind of what you're trying to do. You're trying to incrementally be better than what you have on the roster. It's no different than going out and getting Timmy Bleekrode or Brian Buschini or any of those guys to try to improve specific positions. And that's what the transfer portal is. If absent of quarterback, I feel like if you're a Nebraska fan, you have to be pretty happy how the transfer portal has played out in terms of what Nebraska has done so far. They went and they got 2 pieces to help on the offensive line. They, in theory, replaced their punter and their place
and their
kicker.
kicker, right?
They went out and they got a wide receiver and Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, who has 2 years of eligibility, that's going to step in and have more experience than some of the guys they have in their room right now.
Was productive already in college.
You got a defensive back with a really high skill level, former top 247 recruit that you absolutely loved out of Florida in Tommy Hill. And you can see kind of where that lands. I mean, we talked extensively about how this 2022 class was small by design because they were going to go into the portal and get these pieces.
They got 6 so far.
Yeah, and they've done that.
6, Jake.
They're not necessarily done adding. I mean, we'll see if they get 1 or 2 quarterbacks. There could be another piece or 2 that's out there as well. So there's a lot of work still to be done with this. And I feel like they've done a nice job.
They got offensive line Hunter Anthony from Oklahoma State. What is your read on him? And are they done adding on the offensive line in the portal?
They're not done, but I don't know. Hunter Anthony is probably the single biggest piece of what they've added in this sense. His versatility of being able to play guard or tackle will allow Donovan Raiola to set up that offensive line as he sees fit, because they still have some questions beyond just, Bryce Benhart at right tackle or what you're going to do at Turner Corcoran. You really don't know, and you won't know until probably July and August, the status of Teddy Prohaska. And so therefore you got to have someone that can play left tackle for you, even if it's in the short term. Because let's say he can't go the first week and then you hold him out against North Dakota and then you deploy him for the first time against, say, Oklahoma. I mean, you got to have somebody that can step into that spot to play left tackle for you. And I keep calling him Casey Anthony, and I don't know why.
Hunter Anthony.
That is such an unfortunate. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm combining
Casey
the Casey
Anthony.
Thompson. Yeah, it's not right. It's not a great name mix-up.
No.
But Hunter Anthony can
know who
play
we're
left
talking about,
tackle
right?
for you. He can play right tackle for you. He can play left guard. He can play right guard. So his versatility allows you to kind of move him as you see fit. Now, he wants a spot and he wants to own it. And so you make him the right tackle, you got to have a plan for who your left tackle is going to be if it can't be Teddy Prohaska.
Hunter Anthony's situation is affected by if they go get that kid from Sacred Heart, say his name.
If they get the kid from Sacred Heart, that's their biggest transfer portal win because everybody wants him.
His name is D. Renzo.
Yeah.
DiRenzo is a 2-time FCS All-American. It's spelled Dirensezo. I can't say his first name right now. And then there's a kid from Middle Tennessee State that would affect the conversation too. So yeah, they're looking at other guys. Everybody's looking at those two guys.
Well, offensive line, offensive line, defensive line, and defensive back are probably the toughest. In terms of competition of what you got to go against.
D-line.
Everybody wants.
So
think about that kid. That kid from Albany, Jared Verse. I think we talked about it because I think it happened like the day before I came on for a normal spot here on Thursday mornings. This kid from Albany goes into the portal. I see he goes into the portal. I see what conference he plays in. I call Jack Cooper, the former Nebraska quality control guy, who's now the D coordinator at Rhode Island. He's like, yeah, I love this kid. Mentioned it to Shenander. They got to go after this guy. Nebraska offers him, I want to say, like within 6 hours of him being in the portal. That kid is now basically the most pursued, heavily pursued player in the portal because he is a 3 or I think he has 3 years of eligibility, defensive end that had like 13 and a half sacks between the full season and the condensed season that he got to play in 2021.
Where's this kid from?
Albany.
Like that's what people want to believe that you can just go shopping in the transfer portal like it's the supermarket and that you can just buy name brand. No, sometimes you got to find generic and sometimes you just got to make it work with your recipe because it is not. Everybody is in there.
Yeah.
There is not a program in the country that isn't adding players from the transfer portal.
Yep.
There's no getting a leg up. This isn't a new market inefficiency that you can take advantage of. Everyone's there. So when a kid from Albany is now suddenly the most coveted piece and he could end up at Florida State or Iowa or Penn State, I think are the three that he's really kind of pursuing. Like it's difficult.
You know what
so
just
these
happened?
linemen, the offensive linemen, they're getting offers from everybody.
You know what just happened? Jake?
What's that?
Schaefer made a pretty good case of why you can't lean on the portal. You can't count
it. Can be a portion. It can't be how you sustain your
exactly.
roster.
You can't
still
hang
have
your
to
hat
go
on the
win.
You can't hang your hat on the portal.
You have to go win in evaluations and recruit high school kids and get them on the front end and all of that, and then you can try to enhance through the transfer portal. You can't build your roster that way.
Casey Thompson, real quick. Casey Thompson, to review stats: 63.2% passer, threw for 2,113 yards for Texas, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Those are good numbers. His running, people wonder about how he runs. His numbers: 55 attempts, 157 yards. That's 2.9 per rush. Me and Shafe both agree he can run. He can scoot. Yes. If he wanted to run more, he could. He's not like Adrian running the ball. He's smaller. He's more like 6 foot, 195, but he can scoot. And he's a pretty natural runner.
Do you have a comparison? Have you watched much of Casey's film at all? Do you have a comparison for him?
I've watched him. I don't really have a great comparison. Like there's not like someone like, oh, he's a dead ringer for X. So I do think going back to the running thing, Kenny Pickett had 8 rushing touchdowns 2 years ago. And so it's not out of the question to take advantage of some of these guys' mobile ability in the red zone.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like there's just this kind of like undercurrent of people who feel like this is Bill Callahan all over again. And I don't think it's that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't know that.
Well, and I didn't even say that you were one of them.
Yeah.
There's just, it's typically skews to be older people on the message board, but there's going to be a more active, more mobile quarterback than just a guy standing back there.
He's mobile.
Yeah.
He's mobile. He can move in the pocket. What I like about him is, like we said earlier, if the pocket breaks down, he can dance around and then get rid of the ball. Like Adrian. He reminds me, now Schaefer, now just bear with me. He reminds me of a smaller Adrian, but a guy who makes quicker decisions. That's what he reminds me of.
Well, that's kind of what you need.
Yeah. Smaller Adrian, makes quicker decisions.
The biggest thing for me that they need to find is someone that they think has the arm talent that can take advantage in the Big Ten.
Arm talent.
And then has the quick decision making. That was crippling for Nebraska.
Exactly.
They couldn't throw in the red zone because Adrian wouldn't make a fast enough
You know what's
decision.
good about this, Schaefer? He played for Sark. Sark coaches quarterbacks well.
Yeah, I agree. That was one of the things that basically I liked about it right away.
Yeah.
You got a lot of experience under an offense that I don't think is all that dissimilar to what Whipple wants.
And if you're wondering about his deep ball ability, watch the Red River rivalry, the first quarter. I mean, he gunned too long.
deep.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they can get Joshua Moore to join him because that's who
He's
he
a
was looking
one-time
at.
Nebraska
How about
kind of
Xavier
guy.
Worthy? I'd take Xavier Worthy. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Nebraska wanted him out of high school. So
That's right.
I think they made it.
Xavier Worthy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And Joshua.
Yeah, they're hard on
Xavier
Joshua
Worthy,
Moore.
I think, is from the Fresno area.
Okay.
There was hope that the Adrian connection could work there.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
If you have any questions for Mike Schaefer, please call or text 402-464-5685. More next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Ow! God! Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories this fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artisan cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
I'm Jenny Benson. I taught for 32 years. Educators are used to the challenges of a typical school year, but the last year plus was far from typical. Yet everyone leaned in and found creative ways to adapt, innovate, and persevere. Behind each student were resourceful families and dedicated educators who reached out with open arms of support. Because of all the ways we work together, our students continued to learn, grow, and thrive.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in the station.
This
Well, good morning, little brother.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Early Break is sponsored by Gaina Trucking. This hour with Mike Schaefer, sponsored by Trek CBD, 2 locations in Lincoln, 27th and S and 84th and Andermatt. You can call or text 464-5685 any questions you have for Mike Schaefer and us, or comment on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Last night, Nebraska played basketball. And as we said during the break, and also in the first hour, me and Sip talked about this, the last 2 games, they have looked like a basketball program, not just an and one mixtape.
Oh, gee.
You're
right, though. Yeah.
They have played respectable defense, not great defense, respectable
Definitely.
defense. They have
For
had
sure.
they've had some play sets offensively. There's ball movement. There's guys moving. They've lost both games to Ohio State in overtime and Michigan State by 12 last night. But Schaefer, you are a season ticket holder for Nebraska men's basketball.
I don't like to admit that right now.
You are, though. You are a season ticket holder.
Come on, you got to do it through thick and thin, Schaefer.
You watched the last 2 games. I guess what was your takeaway, and was it much better than you expected in these games?
I mean, it's a lot better than that stretch that was basically Michigan and
Auburn.
Auburn. There's
Right.
no question about that. They look like they're being coached, so that definitely helps. I mean, they feel different, even though the results have been the same. And then the largest issue is still the same. They don't get enough out of their shooting. They just simply cannot make shots when they are getting some stuff. Other than they started the game really hot, and that basically allowed them to kind of rip off a lead and hang around a little longer than they probably would have otherwise. But they're playing better basketball. I continue to, I really wish they would have had Trey McGowan for that Ohio State game. I think his toughness and leadership in the final couple minutes would have made a big difference. I don't think the ball ends up in Lat Man's hands at that point. Or maybe you're not
Kobe
even
Webster.
Maybe you're up by more, at that point going into that final 2-minute stretch. But I think they're playing better basketball. I think they're more dangerous to teams in the Big Ten. I still think they have limited upside into how many games they're going to end up winning, but they're a more enjoyable team to at least watch than they were about a month ago.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And, that's kind of what you wanted. You didn't want them to roll over and be dead. We're no one's crowning them as this is the ascent and we're expecting big things here, but they're fundamentally better than they were at their lowest point. So they haven't completely rolled over.
We have to be careful with these conversations. I totally agree with everything you're saying, but think about the phrases you've used and how low the bar is.
Yeah, that's right.
One phrase was, "It looks like they're being coached." My God. I mean, I totally agree. It didn't look like that.
I'm not trying to say that this is a team that, you should throw all your belief behind.
No, I know.
I'm
You're
just
not
saying that it's better than where it was at, but where it was at was really bad.
right. I'm speaking generically.
Yeah.
Not. This is not directed towards you. I'm talking about a generic mindset, because what you're saying is what a lot of people are saying, including myself. But we have to listen to ourselves. It looks like they're being coached. My God, they haven't. They haven't rolled over.
Completely rolled over.
I mean, we're setting a really low bar for that program.
Yeah, well, I don't have a high bar.
I
for
know
that program
nobody.
right
Yeah,
now. I basically my hope was that they could finish. what it's always been, that they wouldn't be in the first day of the Big Ten tournament. That's not going to happen.
No.
So
it'd be a miracle at this point.
Would it be a miracle?
I mean, if even 6 wins, you're probably in the last 4, right? Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Because we said earlier, is the
6
ceiling
wins is going to be pretty hard
is the
for them
ceiling
to get.
6 wins, and that's still going to be probably in the bottom 4.
Yeah, I'm saying my ceiling is crept up by 1 or maybe 2. I think they can get 6.
Yeah, and you're still in the bottom.
But they
4.
got to beat Rutgers. For me to
didn't Rutgers just like put it on Michigan a little
by
bit?
8.
By 8. Michigan.
Well, I
had
mean, they're
COVID
up at
problems.
like 15.
Michigan was
had
out
COVID
4
problems.
guys. Yeah, Michigan
5 guys.
5 guys.
5 guys.
Not no starters, but
Yeah, reserves. But
yeah,
still,
reserves. Schaefer, I'm putting a must-win tag on Saturday. Must win, and not must win for Fred to keep his
On
job.
the road?
Yeah, not must win.
It's because of this,
because of the
Schaefer.
schedule.
Here,
In the very fired up, whatever it's called in New Jersey.
The Jersey Mike Center now. Oh wow, used to be the Rack.
The reason I say that, and I think within their program, a lot of guys would be saying this, coaches, veteran players, is they're 0-4. The schedule ahead is tough enough that you got to get one now, or you could go to 0-8, 0-9.
Yeah.
And then you're in trouble. All right. So must win.
I mean, the
Go
next
ahead.
5
Go ahead.
games after Rutgers, you play home against Illinois. It's obviously a good team. They almost beat them last year, but still. Then you're at Purdue, top 10 team. Home against Indiana, winnable, but still tough. At Ohio State, they're going to be pissed off for almost losing here in Lincoln. And then home against Wisconsin, who just beat Purdue.
You got to get one. You got to get one now.
So that's potentially, if you don't beat Rutgers, you're looking at 0-10.
Yeah. You got to get one now.
I mean, I understand the idea behind it. It's just the idea also of Nebraska going on the road and getting a must win with a team that hasn't played particularly well on the road this year.
Mhm.
I mean, they should have beat NC State, but that's about it.
And last night they played pretty well on the road.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
It was a pretty good road performance.
So we'll see. I wouldn't make them the favorite in that game.
No, I'm saying I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they win. Now,
Is Trey going to be back for Saturday?
Trey has a chance to be back Saturday. It's not official yet what their status is, but it sounds
Even
like
if
he's
he gives them like
trending
10
there.
minutes, I feel like that's a lift.
they've been saying mid-January for a long time. I don't expect him to be back.
But there's a chance, but yeah, I think he's back probably next week at some point instead of Saturday.
But what has happened, Shafe, is the conversation's evolved. They're not, like you say, they're not in the tank. And they're running the offense more through Derek Walker. And
He's played great.
He's playing great.
Why did it take so long to figure that out for Nebraska?
I mean, they initially started the whole thing. I mean, if you go back to their exhibition games, they were doing a lot.
Okay,
of this.
then it did.
And then all of a
The
sudden you
season
got into
started.
Western Illinois, and it just became Bryce McGowan's Verge with the ball.
Yep,
all the time. And Verge has gotten better with passing and setting things up. They've certainly run more backdoor action to try to set things up. I mean, part of it, this is broken record. They don't shoot well enough.
Right.
Like you can't even do the backdoor stuff if there's no threat that you can hit anything from outside. I mean, so you really gotta have at least one thing working for you on offense.
They're confounding those three guys at the top, the three guys at the top of any scouting report, McGowan's, Walker, and Verge. Those guys are pretty dangerous guys. Verge is a great passer. We can all agree on that. I mean, he is a great passer. He
has
creative.
the ability to fit the ball in very tight windows. He also
Yes.
has the ability to have like 7 turnovers.
Stupid turnovers.
They tried a lot of backdoor cuts last night that got picked off.
But
and taken the other
Schaefer,
way.
you're right. They're only shooting 28% from 3-point territory. 28%. Okay, that's not going to do it in Fred's offense.
Nope.
And so it does sort of come down to that. But the reason I say confounding is because if Walker, McGowan's, and Verge are going, they're a threat to beat anybody.
Yeah, they can hang with teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Ohio State on the gallows, and they just couldn't put it away.
Close it out.
I mean, part of it, as soon as that game went to overtime,
it
was like, all right, if Ohio
You
State
knew.
hits 2 shots, Nebraska
did.
can't. They just
You
they
knew what
don't
was
have the
happening in
ability to
overtime.
score. They just don't.
Their shooting comes and goes and mostly goes.
Right.
Yeah, it's not here very often. They shot well the first 4 minutes last night.
And that
7 for 7.
propped them up to lose by 11.
And
late in the
Michigan
game.
State turned it over on 11 of their first 21 possessions. 11 of they're turning it over every other possession. So yeah, Nebraska, but you got to give Nebraska credit in that because they were playing good defense.
They've exhibited great effort. They're not like they're in a better place, I think, physically and mentally than where they were. I mean, I don't think we should discount like they were sick.
Mm-hmm.
They did. I mean, think of all the stuff that's going around right now in society,
Mm-hmm.
and they were at a very low point from a physical standpoint because they weren't being able to practice and exert the energy. And then from a mental standpoint, you're getting your head bashed in, and there's Auburn with another dunk off the backboard.
Tomahawk slam.
So, like that was not a great spot for them to be at. What you really wish that would have come out of that is you hold off Kansas State, you win that game,
you gotta win
beat
that one.
Kennesaw State, you set yourself up for a little momentum, and then who knows, if you finish out the Kansas State game, maybe that gives you a reason or a better ability to finish out Ohio State.
Absolutely.
I mean, we talk about this all the time, finishing games, winning games, knowing what to do in those situations. This is a team that really doesn't. I mean, they haven't finished teams well at all this year.
No.
They didn't finish Western Illinois. They didn't finish NC State. They didn't finish Kansas State. They didn't finish Ohio State.
So now you're talking about, do they have the kind of mental toughness to get to 6 or 7 wins? Can they make free throws at the end of games? That's the thing you worry about it as a
That's why I think Trey McGowan's would be really helpful to have him back, because there's pieces of him that they just lack on the court at times. I mean, he's tough.
Oh, yeah.
He's a competitor.
Oh, I'll give you an
He's
example.
going to help finish those games.
I'll give you an example. You saw the matchup last night. We haven't even mentioned it. It was bizarre. It was Gabe Brown on Tominaga.
For a lot of the time.
They were
right?
asking Tominaga to guard Gabe Brown.
Yeah, right. And then Trevor Lakes too. He had the slam over his head.
Yeah,
He had
and that's just because you're short and you need a shooter out there because of what Schaefer's saying. They don't shoot the ball well. So Fred's thinking, I got to have shooters out there. Like we got to have offense.
Tominaga,
but you're giving up
a pretty funny optic.
Tominaga on Gabe Brown is just you're hurting at that point.
That's a pretty hilarious optic.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Yeah, and Trevor Lakes is trying to guard Gabe
Yeah,
Brown.
but he lost track of him. He had a big slam over alley oop.
Yeah,
Trevor Lakes is lost out there, as the broadcast said. Yeah, what happened? Nebraska again falls 79-67. Rutgers on Saturday, must win.
I'm calling it must.
Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Schaefer Sip is 3-0 to begin the new year.
Whoa!
He's already clinched a winning week, and you're here to help tack on.
New year, new Sipple.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I got lucky a couple times.
Today is a random one. It's a throwback Thursday. 1999 college football season.
Okay.
Yep. Think you know that? Give us a call.
I do. I think I know it.
5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. A line open for you to take down Sip and Schaefer in trivia. Shut Up Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe. 464-5685. The trivia again today is Throwback Thursday to the 1999 college football season.
That topic may give some people pause. And
don't pause. Be confident. If you've watched football for a long
Nebraska's
time.
last conference title.
1999. That's not a
People
question.
should be
though.
ready to celebrate that year.
A line is open, 402-464-5685. Who wants bagels?
99 team?
good enough to win it all.
Yeah, there's people that think that they were better than some of the years Nebraska actually won a title.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, I'm
Now
on.
they're jacked. Oh, so we got 3 calls there.
Oh, I like the 99 team because the size. Like on offense, they're just a big old team, you know. When they lined up in 99, I remember going over there in August when we could go over and watch practice. I was like, whoa. I mean, the way they looked at the line of scrimmage was beautiful because they were so big. You know, Wilson Thomas was out there.
Oh, Wilson Thomas, he played basketball.
Willie Miller. So you put Willie Miller at fullback and Dan Alexander at running back. What's that look like?
It's a pretty large man coming
Yeah,
after you.
yeah.
All right, we've got Corey. Corey, how do you feel about the 1999 college football season?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Corey.
Thanks for calling.
Hey, yeah, thanks for breaking through and calling.
All right, Schaefer, your lifeline for one question for Sip. Choose wisely.
Yeah. Thanks.
Corey, first question goes to you. What Big Ten running back won the Heisman Trophy in 1999?
Kajana Carter.
It was not Kajana Carter from Penn State. You don't have to take this if you don't want to.
Okay, I'm not going to take it, but if Schaefer knows it, I will interject him into the conversation.
It's got to be Ron Dane.
Ron Dane is right, the big man from Wisconsin. So
Nice
Schaefer
job.
is out after one question.
Wouldn't have got that. I thought he was a little before that.
But utilized properly. So you're on your own. 1-0 lead.
The backhandedness is always wonderful.
It's incredibly damns me with faint praise all the time.
I do. That's what I do. All right, Sip, for the 2-0 lead, your
Yes.
first question on your own. What Georgia Tech quarterback finished second in the Heisman Trophy Award and also won the Davey O'Brien Award?
Love this guy.
1999?
Oh, Schaefer. I can see
Telling you,
it.
this is like I love this.
This is Schaefer's
this takes
alley
me
here.
back. Yeah.
You're about 10 years old this year, right, Schaefer? 99? 11?
12.
12, okay. Yeah, you're
Georgia
there.
Tech quarterback,
Yep.
second in the Heisman.
And you won the Davey O'Brien Award for the best quarterback in the nation. 5 seconds.
Oh,
5, 4.
I can't get it. I'm not even going to give a name. I don't know it.
Give you horns. Corey, do you want that question or not?
No, but I think I know who it is.
Well, try it. Try it.
Well, no,
No,
don't go for
try
it.
it.
If you get it wrong, you go -1.
Yeah.
You're gonna pass,
No.
Corey.
Pass.
Schaefer, who was it?
It's got to be Joe Hamilton.
That's just for you. There's no points there. I
I
was gonna
knew
give the
it.
ding.
Yeah, I would not have got
Joe
that.
Hamilton. All right, so 1-0 lead for Sip to tie it up. Corey, your last question. What Penn State linebacker won the Dick Butkus Award in 99 for best linebacker in the nation?
That's really hard.
I don't think so.
LeVar Arrington.
Boom! There it is. How hard was it? You
Not
got
that
Love
hard.
LeVar Arrington.
Not that hard now that you mention it.
First round pick. A long
Good
time
radio.
Redskins
Wasn't number
as well.
1 overall.
Really?
His
No.
teammate was.
That being
Orlando
No.
Brown?
Courtney Brown.
Courtney
Defensive.
Brown.
Oh, Courtney Brown. Yeah, okay, you're right.
very
I
prominent
forget
on
about
radio
that.
now.
Yeah,
as
he is on
Arrington.
Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Okay, Sip, for the win. If you miss this, though, Corey can steal and win
This
it
is
himself
for the W.
to go 4-0.
Yeah.
What team did Florida State beat to win the Sugar Bowl for the national title in 1999?
Oklahoma.
That is not correct. Look, Schaefer is disgusted. Corey, do you want that one, or are we going to the tiebreaker?
Pass.
That'd be Schaefer.
Virginia Tech.
Tech would be it. They
Hold on a
The
second.
Michael Vick year.
Michael Vick. 2000 is when.
Oh yeah, I remember where I was when I watched that game. I got off a flight. I got off a flight in Omaha, coming back from the '99 game, and I went to my brother's house in Midtown Omaha when he lived in Omaha, and he wasn't home. I stopped at this little bar in his neighborhood and watched the game.
Okay, this is the tiebreaker.
Damn
This
it.
goes to you, Sip, and then Corey will go over under your number. Sip, here we go. How many rushing yards did Ron Dane have in his Heisman Trophy season?
I'm putting a number out.
Yep, you are.
Okay, I'm going to put a number out. 1,723.
Okay, over under 1,723. Corey.
Over.
Schaefer, you have a guess on that one?
He's one of the 2000 guys.
Okay,
So let's say 21-12.
2034. So the undefeated
guess.
week is over, but you still got the tiebreaker. Corey, congrats. We get your bagels. Thanks for calling in and calling down the road.
Thank you, fellas.
Those bagels will be delivered courtesy of Eagle Delivery, the official courier of 93.7. The
You
Ticket.
lost, but you tied your shoes this morning.
That's what I got to give him something here.
He does it routinely. I'm glad you pick up on it. The backhanded compliments are I say more. It's damning me with faint praise.
The Mike Schaefer text line is enjoying how confident you were that it was Oklahoma and that it was very much not Oklahoma.
Schaefer, thank you for your time. We're going to have the spillover with DP and Jay Foreman next, but I appreciate it. Mike Schaefer,
Yeah,
24/7
Schaefer, you're great.
Sports.
You're great.
Always great. We'll see you next Thursday. Wrap things up next, an early break in the ticket. Last thing before break, guys, it's getting darker and colder outside every day. That means your time playing golf, tennis, whatever you do outside is getting limited, but you can always find things to do inside, including craft axe throwing in Lincoln. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 9 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, from noon to 11 on Friday, Saturday, and from noon to 9 on Sunday. Parties and events are welcome anytime. For more information, call them at 402-802-9696 or go to craftaxethrowing.com. That's Craft Axe Throwing, 18th and N in Lincoln.
You could celebrate a Nebraska football win with chips or wings and your favorite beverage, but Beatrice Bakery has all sorts of cakes to celebrate all victories this fall. Coffee cake, breakfast bread, artisan cakes, and especially Grandma's fruit cake. No one remembers who brought the chips, but everyone remembers who brought the cake. Make your parties memorable and your Mondays at the office better with cakes from Beatrice Bakery. They ship nationwide. Check out BeatriceBakery.com, proud sponsors of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. Welcome to our world of yum.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God! Ow!
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We welcome in DP and Jay Foreman for the spillover. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
What's happening, Jake?
Hey,
What's up, old school?
Well.
Turn some air on. What is wrong with you?
It's
You guys are-
64. This thing is
you guys-
broken.
you guys-
64.
you guys
have
are
you
like-
Harrison, have you walked in here during the show?
It's like a sauna.
Okay.
Listen, I don't know what
But
to do. The thing's broken.
It is -4 degrees outside
Yeah, it's cold.
without the windshield, and they have not called school, but they called school for a windstorm that was going to start at 4 p.m.
I do. Whoa, shots fired, Jay Foreman. Shots fired.
Well, I don't have
Hey,
any skin in
Sid
the game.
knows how I feel about all this stuff when it comes to wind days or cold days.
Jake's,
And I'm 30.
Jake's old school like you.
I am. I'm old school.
Jake's something. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm not
Jake's
sure
quite
what
old
that
school.
is.
No, he's old school.
Is he?
Yeah,
You
he's
want the kids
hardcore.
to walk
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
up against the wind,
Up,
10
you know,
miles.
both uphill
up and
both
down.
ways.
I got you.
You don't have any,
2
do
feet
you?
of snow. I don't have any
There you
kids.
go.
Jake's
There you
hardcore.
go.
Jake's hardcore.
I'm hardcore until, as DP
It's-
says, I have
until
kids,
you
and it
have
might
kids,
change
and then
then.
he will
I
be.
might be a softie then.
Oh no, he will be helicopter dad
Here's-
all the way.
Here's the thing.
Oh yeah, I
Look
can see
at
that.
you. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
I'm gonna have his back more. That's right.
I got my back. Don't worry.
No, I do
Like,
worry
I got
about
my-
you. I do worry about
I got my 6.
Okay, what are you guys going to talk about today?
Oh, I got a question for these guys off the bat. You guys are both football dudes, of course. Jay, NFL player. TP, you've been in football for a long time. I saw this news yesterday, and I'm curious your guys' response. The Wonderlic test is dead. It's over. No more Wonderlic at the combine.
Right.
Jay, you took the test, I'm sure, right? You take the
Yeah.
Is it pointless? Is it necessary? What are your thoughts on it finally being gone? Is it something that should have happened a long time ago?
Good question.
What's the point of
Yeah.
the Wonderlic?
I don't know that. I don't think anybody really had. It started out as purely a quarterback test, how they could process information. Which, obviously, if you look at the ACT, it was differently scaled based on your background, where you're, brought up. So then, that would be no different than when you go to the combine. I took it. That wasn't the worst test. The worst test was the New York Giants test. That was 465 questions, and you probably had the same question 30 times, just a little bit different ways. And so you had to actually concentrate for 465 questions because you would get a negative check against in that if you just kind of went through and just did B. The Wonderlic test, the funny thing about it is it costs a lot of guys some money at times. They're like, oh, he only scored a 2 on the Wonderlic test. That was probably a lack of effort, and it was stupid. I was like, we're here to, you're worried about football. If you want somebody to learn, if you want to see how they process information, get them in a room, put up 3 or 4 plays or start asking them football questions and then kind of mix it up that way. You'll learn more about a guy like that versus getting down there and then start doing some arithmetic and asking them, if you see somebody on 5th Street and you see them, 3 times, during the month, and then you don't see them for 3 years, what's the percentage that you've seen them?
Yeah, that's really
right. So
what does that mean?
Good. It's probably, they're probably trying to trim the fat a lot for this combine. Obviously, with COVID and stuff, they're probably trying to get guys in and out, and that was a lot of wasted time. I mean, that was hours there.
Really?
Yeah. And the funny thing also, the physicals that they do is in some cases really a waste of time because they have your physical records when you get there. But then it seems like as you go through like their physical, they try to check everything out. You feel worse after you leave there. And then the guys that do have some injury histories, they'll be there all throughout the day, and then they miss, one-on-one meetings or whatever it is. So, maybe they're trying to be a little bit more efficient. But I don't think they, in this day and time, especially with a lot of the RPOs, all that stuff's out of it.
Interesting.
Because there's not a lot of checking at the line with these RPO offense, because that's the only way that you can force rookies to play. Because when they would be rookies back in the day, you would be running a West Coast offense, which is like a paragraph on a play. There's no way they could do it.
DP, do you have experience with the Wonderlic test?
Yeah, I've been around a lot of dudes who had to take it, and
do they panic about it at all or not?
They don't understand what it's for.
Okay,
and I don't think that the general managers know what it's for. Like it was justification for your decision or your not decision. Like it's if you like a guy, his Wonderlic doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you have questions about a guy,
it does
it validates the fact that you have questions about
that.
A guy.
Makes sense.
Right.
And it was. I'm glad it's done.
And you know what's funny
it's mentally lazy. Is what
agents starting to they become friends with GMs or assistant GMs. So they were kind of they were taking practice exams. So you start seeing guys get crazy Wonderlic tests, and they can't out there, they can't read, difference between cover 3 and cover 4.
Mm-hmm. But they did well in their
Wonderlic test. And you heard about it. Oh, this guy, if we go back and look at draft days,
the highest
Wonderlic test. This guy, he can process information faster than there's not a rookie that comes in the NFL that struggles with playing the quarterback position. And it's and they always look at, well, if you have a good rookie year, then they usually struggle in their second year because they don't have tape on you. So that's usually what the biggest outlier is has nothing to do with football.
Okay, should we talk about hoops a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Has the last 2 games changed what you think about where this season's going. The Ohio State close loss and
In
then-
overtime.
in overtime, and then last night's game.
I think it's it's definitely more encouraging than getting boat race 2 games in a row.
Well, sure.
So that lets you know they got a little bit of toughness. I like for the most part, I think the Ohio State game was better than Michigan State. I think the shot selection at times was way worse than it was against Ohio State.
Second half for
Yeah,
sure.
it got
Last
sloppy
night
in
it
the
got
second
sloppy in the second
Which
half.
showed their immature team and lack of experience.
Not everybody's immature. I mean,
They're immature.
Walker's not immature.
Okay, that's 1 out of 12.
Actually, but when you think about it this way, Derek is new in what they're asking him to do last
True.
night.
Yeah.
Like he's still finding he's an introvert by nature. So it's taking the leadership thing for him is uncomfortable. But then they finally said last night, okay, we're going to force you to lead us.
But he was great.
Right?
He was
So
great last night.
Did against Ohio State, too.
There's a lot of evolution, but that just meant there was a lot of space for them to improve to begin with. And the things that they thought they were going to be able to do well, they don't do well. They haven't done well.
Shoot mainly.
You thought you were going to shoot better. Everybody
Part
thinks
of
they
the
were going to
game.
shoot better. They thought they would defend better, especially on the perimeter. They thought they were going to be weak defending the paint. That hasn't been the case. They've been weak on the outside end. So you've got to adjust little things to get this thing right. And it's going to take a couple of games.
They'll
to get it
defend
right.
the perimeter better when Trey McGowan's is back.
Well,
Sure.
look, you lost your captain. Like and we're not talking about just a guy. You're talking about your best defender, the big brother of your most athletic player, the guy that is Fred Hoiberg's voice on the court and off. So there's some to that.
No, there is.
But at this point, like I kind of thought this team would have 10 wins.
10.
I thought they would have had 10 wins
By now.
By now. And that's 3 of those games are free throw games. If you make free throws, you've got 9 wins. Like, good Lord.
NC
man.
State,
Like,
yeah.
like you had 3 games if you made free throws. But then that still shows that there is a problem in the system that you haven't figured out how to win games yet. And it is the toughest thing to do in all of sports, which is to finish. And this team doesn't know how to do it yet.
If they were playing with this mindset from the get-go, their record would be better.
They'd have 10.
Yeah.
It would have 10.
I
But
think
here's the
that-
thing. Fred figured out Walker. They're running it a lot through Walker now that they haven't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They would be doing that. They just look more efficient in offense.
Well, it makes first of all, I mean, if the ball dumps into the paint, whether at the free throw line, top of the key, it makes the other 4 players be in a place on time. Like otherwise, if it's Verge doing his pick and roll without patience, guys don't expect the next thing to happen in place and on time. So it holds him accountable. It holds points guards accountable, and it holds the shooters accountable on the wing, which makes defending them a little bit more difficult. But they got to learn. They have to learn.
They still don't understand what's a good shot. Some guys on the team still they're getting it. They still
Can't
don't
disagree. I can't disagree.
You got some guys that shoot some shots that are just the make percentage of the shots that they're taking are in the single digits and low single digits, which is, in my opinion, equivalent of a turnover, because there's usually quick shots and they're quick shots in the shot clock, right? And then there's shots to where guys aren't even in position to even get an offensive rebound, or if by chance they don't shoot, when they kick it out, the passes that they're kicking them out, they're not even kicking it out to the guys that be in scoring position or be able to create something. So, like I said, the Ohio State looked good. Michigan State, for 2/3 of the game was decent. Michigan State was hitting, and defending on the perimeter. Yes, Trey is their best on-ball defender. He's their best team defender. He's their best physical defender as far as and to be honest, I mean, I don't know what he'll be like when he comes back. He has the most stamina to play defense on both sides of the court, so he's a two-way player. But with the way, I watched Texas Tech play last night.
Okay.
Afterwards against Iowa State.
Okay.
And the amount of space that Texas Tech wasn't giving Iowa State and Iowa State wasn't giving Texas Tech is the difference between how we defend and how they defend. You get what I'm saying? If
No.
I'm giving you this much space in a pick and roll and I'm always going under, you don't got to work for anything. That's almost like practice.
Well, it's top level defenders rest on offense, and that's Trey. top level offensive players rest on defense.
That's Verge.
That's, you're able to identify
but we
that.
don't have top level offensive players.
Well, now hold on. Stop. I don't agree with that. I think McGowan's is a top level offensive player
At times.
and I think Verge at
Moments.
times is
Flashes.
Verge at times. I don't know how to characterize. I mean, I know what happens. I start going down this road where I say I like Verge, and people just hammer you. How can you like Verge?
Because you're so hammerable, though. But Steve,
what?
Verge is like the Nebraska version of Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Ooh, DP didn't like that.
Meaning.
It's a lot of feast or famine.
Yeah, it is feast or
That's
famine
true.
with him.
That's what it is.
The reason
But at
he's
the elite level, that's required.
Yeah.
Every coach in the country wants a guy that can get his when things break down. The problem with Verge is that he's doing this when it's not necessary.
Right.
Like all
agree
of the
with that.
previous 3 years, it was, man, it would be really great if Nebraska had somebody who could put the ball on the floor and create when in the final 15 seconds of a shot clock.
That's Verge.
That's Verge, but we don't need it in the first half of
Right.
that. You've got to put defensive pressure on people by holding them accountable to 5 spots on the floor. We don't do that if you go early. That's the whole rule behind the offense.
Yeah.
The only time you go early if it is a straight line to the basket. Simple business. That's the way the system's set up. Verge is a little impatient.
Yeah.
He's a little impatient. And that can be fixed by demanding that he play quarterback rather than being a dual threat.
He's frustrating to me because he's so talented.
Right.
He's a scorer.
Right, but
And he's a passer.
but we've done this before, though.
What?
What do you think Cam Mack was? What do you think that Teddy Allen was? I mean, come on now. I mean,
No, Teddy and
Cam Mack. That is Cam Mack right there. Cam Mack in this is just literally
It's not a bad
like,
comparison.
It's like twin brothers
He's
right
a better.
there.
No, this guy's a better scorer than Cam.
Okay, he's a better just by like you're trying to like you're picking at like
he's also
little
a better
peach fuzz.
defender. He's a better defender on ball. He's like, I get the whole Cam thing.
But
it's too easy to say that the things that he doesn't do right makes him a less player.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's not a less player. What I'm saying is when you're trying to play against like ready-made teams, you can't do. Okay, if there's a cap that this can happen, it's like 2 or 3, right? It probably was like 12 at the beginning of the season. We're down to 6 now. You got to get to the 2 or 3, and it's not just him. The 28-foot 3 in transition,
terrible
by Bryce.
Yeah, it was bad.
And it was just like, okay, well, this is probably I could shoot this in high school. And he's probably made a few, and he actually has a good stroke.
Pretty good.
But it was in like secondary break, kind of slow transition.
Kills you.
I think like Derek Walker wasn't even just barely inside of the
Kills you.
3-point line.
Yeah.
And then you had Welcher on the other side of the court. So you're essentially just running, you're almost kind of running like gassers or whatever. So that he's not the only one. So, and then there's Tamanaga had one where he had the ball, could have drove left, decided, okay, I got a little bit of pressure on me, and then blindly passed it to the Michigan State guy, right? That's like when you're playing, instead of playing fast, you're playing in a hurry and playing with panic. That's equivalent to a unforced error.
Well, they had a ton of empty possessions,
right?
And we were talking about it. Me and Strick were talking about it in the post game last night. That this is the phase where when Fred tries to change what he's asked them to do, that sometimes it shows that a player is passing the ball to where they thought somebody was going to be because that's what they used to run, what the focus used to be, instead of it being an IQ play where on the wing, Tamanaga knows when a defender presses up on Bryce is going to go back door, right? That's the IQ thing. But Bryce is like, I see my guy in panic, so I'm going to create another move. K-State goes to where the ball should be based on what they've done for the last 60 days of basketball.
But then it's changed up.
But it's changed because you're trying to put more specific things into play. Now on this one, we're going to attack him back door. Well, that's not what we were doing for 60 days.
So it
We've
takes a
been
little
practicing for 6 days that we're going to do this thing, and that thing's in place. So you're going to have those moments.
And DP, now you got to beat Michigan State on the road, and you're not.
You got to beat Rutgers on the road.
Right.
But this is where immaturity comes in. This is what I mean by immature. This is what I mean by the immature team, right? A mature team is able to figure things out within a game or two. An immature team, it might take 5 or 6, 7 games to get it out. This team at the end of the season, last quarter of the season, is going to be hell on wheels because
they're not a young team. That's the thing. This isn't
but
a
that has nothing to do with it. Steve,
They're a new team.
They're
a new team.
Steve,
There's a difference.
Nebraska Huskers this year on paper, football wasn't a young team, but the mistakes that you saw was from an immature team trying to fight what they've always done versus what you should do. This is what they're doing. But now you're seeing progress here, right?
Yeah, you are.
You are seeing, and you're seeing really, really good tangible progress with this basketball team because they put 2 solid. First of all, they lost that game against Ohio State.
Man,
okay. Now, if it was a 5th, we just talked about that, off air. They lost that game. You're the front end and 1-on-1, and you got 2 free throws, actually 2 shooting free throws. You're in double bonus, and you don't cash in on 1 to at least make them make a 3.
You gave the game.
Make it.
And then before that, you get to the dunk. You're celebrating. 30 seconds left. Now they come down, and anybody knows anything about basketball, which I am not a former professional basketball player, but I talked to Strick about this. That first possession when they're down by 5, that's when the 3's coming. Right, because they want to hit that 3, and then they're playing with house money. If they're down by 2, then they can go to the basket and get either foul or shoot. Right, and both teams are almost in the double bonus.
Yeah,
so you get that game, and then actually the Michigan State game is where you can say, look, we can coach on this. And they always have this like 3 to 4 minute period where they kind of lose themselves. So if they could, like I said, if they could get that down to 2 minutes, Michigan State had the same thing, but the stuff that they do when they get out of whack, minute and a half. Then they get it back together for 4 minutes.
What's being deep? It's that deep water thing.
Right.
Nebraska basketball hasn't figured out how to handle when they're in the deep water. Michigan State knew, okay, this is not done. We've got 3 possessions to get this thing, and if Nebraska blinks, it's a wrap.
Right.
Well, Michigan State understands that. Ohio State understands it because they've been in those games enough together that they can get through it. Nebraska hasn't figured out how to finish yet, and it's an emotional maturity.
Yeah, that's what
because Lat
right.
he had his moment. This was the thing that he had dreamed of. It happened, and instead of just getting back to work, which is the phrase, get back to work. You made your play, get back to work.
Oh yeah, on the dunk.
It just there's several things that happen that constantly it's emotional maturity that puts them in a bad spot.
That's the same thing with football. And you know what it is, the way that you think about finishing these games, you got to be able to lock in on D. There's too much space. This team is DP is right. Everybody's worried about how we were going to defend bigs in the Big Ten, whether we're going to Eduardo Andre was going to be able to play, was Latman be able to be physical enough. You knew D Walker was, then it would the whole thing be at the beginning of the season. How are we going to keep D Walker out of foul trouble and not wear him down? Well, they defended the paint pretty darn well, better than first thought. On the perimeter, with that size, with that length, with that energy, we should be a lot better. So that's how you're able to lessen 3 minutes of, say, stagnant offense, right? Or empty possessions. Then that's not as bad because you know what? We can get some stops. You can't sit up there and go in empty possessions with empty possessions on defense as well. That's how the game's at 6, and then next thing you know, it's at 15.
It was 16-7 in second chance points. Like that to me is the high measurable because you had they forced 19 turnovers and only got 7 points off of it. Like that other thing, this is an accumulation of a lot of small details with a big result, and it's the same as Jay said. You hate to compare it to football, but it is. It really is.
Because you could look at tackling right towards the end of the season compared to, do we run the lanes? Do we run the court as hard as our athletic ability? To your assumption, our athletic ability.
Yeah.
Do we?
Old School is up next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on